All right, the midterm elections are over now. What does that all mean? Stop counting numbers for politics. Start counting it for your money. Here comes the money master, Wall Street, the director of financial newsletters at Newsmax.com. Jeff Yastine joins us. Jeff, day after the midterms, what's Wall Street up to?
Kind of a subdued day of trading, I guess we'd say. The Dow's up about 60 points, the S&P 500 up about 6 points, and the NASDAQ down 13 points. So subdued. I think a lot of the gains that we saw last night with the Republican majorities kind of baked into the cake so much for now with Wall Street.
So what are we going to see now, in your opinion, as far as investors? Because now that the Republicans are in, we have things such as natural gas export laws, crude export laws, gas pipelines, oil pipelines. A lot of things seem to always break. So what are we going to start looking for here as Wall Street watches?
Yeah, I think the energy side of things is certainly getting the majority of the attention right now. I thought it was interesting that yesterday, BHP Billiton, symbol BHP, they're known more as a miner, but they also have an energy side of their business. They're actually looking to test the U.S. export crude oil ban. They've contracted with a Swiss oil trading firm for 650,000 barrels to send to that firm as a ban without seeking, or as a way of testing the ban without seeking the explicit permission of the United States government. I think we're going to see more of this until that ban is overturned or somehow defanged by action by the Republicans in the House and Senate.
Well, a lot of what you hear, too, is that no party really wants to be in charge of lifting an oil export ban because that means that gas prices could go up. So everybody's going to tread very carefully here, correct?
Well, it's, the way I see it is more that, look, it frees up the U.S. energy industry to scope out its own market share in global markets in a much bigger way than what they can do right now. The same way like the Saudis are out there trying to get market share in Asia, keep their market share in North America, those sorts of things. But overall, it's going to mean cheaper energy prices overall for crude. If we end up paying a little bit more for gasoline, I don't think that's a big deal if the overall trend is lower for energy prices.
So much talk about America becoming more energy independent now, if you will. And in Texas, in Denton, Texas, on the midterm day, the people there voted in favor of a ban on hydraulic fracturing in the city, fracking, if you will. That's the first restriction, really, in Texas. You would think that Texas is just going nuts. Wherever you get a chance to make money, bring up some oil, they're going to do it. This just opens up a lot of lawsuits, it seems.
I think one thing that people in that town are saying is just they need to see more cooperation from the industry on this sort of thing. Because look, if you're in the industry, you have you own the rights to drilling in a certain spot. You want to get that energy resource out of the ground, and I think they're looking for the industry to meet them halfway on this. From the reports that I've been reading, I wouldn't read too much into it in terms of this big sweeping trend or somehow the end of fracking. It's people in a town making a statement and trying to make sure they can get recognized and seen. You know, if you go out to California, places in Los Angeles, you can see oil derricks right next to schools and all sorts of places that have been going on. People are used to it, but the energy industry has taken its time to be able to make sure that those structures accommodate the local communities. And that's not so much the case with fracking right now in a lot of these other places.
Okay, last minute, here we go. The ADP National Employment Report, gain of 230,000 private jobs in October, the most since June and the best in 9 years. Put that in English for us.
I think what it's saying is that the U.S. economy has undergone this slow recovery. It continues to move forward, though, and this ADP report points to that specifically. And it probably means that we're going to have a pretty good holiday selling season and probably better gains for GDP. Not rip-roaring gains, but probably gains nonetheless.
But at least nothing on the negative side, and there you go. That's always good. But anytime anybody's looking at what happens on Wall Street as well. All right, Jeff, thanks so much for joining us, my friend. We'll see you again on Thursday.
Thanks, Ed.
All right, Jeff Yastine joins us daily here. Also, you can check out on what's happening money news-wise on Newsmax every single second of every single day. Rather, go to Newsmax.com and then click on Money. You get all the news right there from Jeff and his team and what they are covering on Newsmax.com. All right, now we have looked at money. Now it is time to look at the other side of what happened at the midterms on Tuesday. And that is now all the people who are moving in and the people who are moving out, because after the break, John Gizzi taps into what's being said around Washington, D.C. this day And if you're going to follow that thinking, which moving van companies are now getting the bulk of the business, because there are some people who have to find new digs thanks to what the voters said on Tuesday. Inside the Beltway and a lot more with John Gizzi. That's when we continue right here on MidPoint, where every day we question everything.